live demonstration of LinkedIn. And my name is Dee Reinhardt. I am a social media strategist, and I am helping Illinois WorkNet through some projects and social media. And today I'm going to talk to you about LinkedIn and how to use it. One of the things that you need to know about LinkedIn is the fact that it is a large and ever-growing social media network. It is the most professional, and it has 200 million users, and 40% of those are in the United States. That makes about 80 million people. That's just part of the power of what LinkedIn can do for you. So just to get you acquainted with the screen, if you need to raise your hand or if you want to applaud, you can click the little man with the icon here. If you want to call in, we have the 866 number that you can call in. Webinar materials are below that pod, and the fill-in-the-blank handout is here. The slides that will be used for follow-up are in the next pod. There are links here to connect to future blog articles, or previous blog articles that I've written. And if you want to answer, there will be 4 different poll questions during the course of the presentation. Answer the poll questions so that we know what's going on. In the chat pod, if you want to ask a question, Chelsea and Natasha will be manning the chat pods and helping me pay attention to the questions. Everybody can link with you. And if you notice, Chelsea has put in the link for the Illinois Virtual Job Club on LinkedIn. We hope that if you are not already participating in the group, that you will please request to join, and we will get you included into the discussions in the very near future. I'm going to switch to share my screen so that we can get started on this. I don't want to waste any time because we are very packed with information today. So here we go. Does everybody see my monitor? I picked the wrong one. Let me escape out of this and change the screen. There we go. Now you're seeing the right screen. All right, this is your LinkedIn home page. And what this does is it gives you a snapshot of what's going on in LinkedIn. You can share a status update up at the top. And if you are sharing it, presenting, but you are attending a workshop on LinkedIn for Illinois WorkNet. And it helps if I can spell correctly. When you do that, you can share it, and it goes out to everybody to whom you're connected in your network. So that's just a great thing for you to stay on top of getting information out to the people that you are connected with. You also have news. Much of the news is related to the items in your profile so that it is specific to the keywords that are in your profile. And then as you are looking down the screen, it shows news from other people. It shows somebody has connected with somebody, somebody has shared a link, somebody has endorsed somebody else. It's just a whole lot of information about the people that are within your network. One marketing tip is it takes 5 to 7 contacts with someone for them to remember that they've even seen your name before. And that means seeing your name. It takes up to 20 What we're going to do is we're going to dive into the profile. So when you're changing your profile, you want to go to Profile, Edit Profile. And the three, this is for your fill in the blank, the three most important parts of your profile are your photo, and yes, you need one, photo and name, and your headline, which is the line underneath here, and then whether or not your profile is complete. So when you're looking at your profile page, to the right, it will tell you what level of completeness you are. Just so that you're aware, if your profile is not 100% complete, you will not show up in search results at the top of the list. Most people who are a basic user get the first 100 results. People who pay for an upgrade will get 700 to 800. But if your profile is not 100% complete, you will not show up in those results. No matter how good your keywords are, no matter how many skills you have, if you're not 100% complete, you will not show up in a keyword search. Sorry about that, I just swallowed wrong. Okay, moving on down into the profile, you have the ability to move these these sections up and down. As you are looking at the different parts of your profile, you can move it up if you want your summary first, or if you want your skills and expertise first, you can move that up. So I always like my skills and expertise at the top of my profile because what that does is it gives you the ability to show people bullet points of what your skills are. I am a social media strategist, so fortunately social media has been endorsed by most of my connections, or many of my connections, and they feel that it is very important to have, that they think that that skill is very important for me. So when you want to endorse someone, you go to their profile, top of her profile, skills that I might want to endorse her for. And if they don't show up at the very top, I can go down into her profile and I can add an endorsement for her for the skills. So I can endorse her right there. Or if I found out that she doesn't know how to do that, I can delete it as well. So going back to my profile, we'll go with the endorsements here a little bit more. If I feel that she's good at coaching or curriculum development or adult education, employee relations, or e-learning, I can endorse all of those things. Otherwise, I can eliminate one or two of those options just because I may not know specifically that she knows these. I can then endorse her, and then other people come up, and if I feel that I want to endorse all of these people, I can endorse all four, or I can eliminate or I can select see more on all of them, and it helps with making sure that you're getting the right people. Now, just for a fact, Mondays are called Endorsement Mondays, and you need to just spend 10 minutes and endorse people that you know. All right, we're going to go back to editing profile. So profile, edit profile, and right just to the right of your name will appear a box that says that you are 100% complete. If you are 100% complete, it won't show up. If you are not, it will not. It will show you what percent you're missing and what part of your profile you are missing. And Don asked a question about how important are endorsements opposed to recommendations. And recommendations are a full-fledged, I'm going to write a sentence or two or maybe a paragraph about someone. That means that they just say, yeah, I know that person has the skill, but it's not as intense or as official as an actual recommendation. Now, with a recommendation, you are required to be a first-degree contact with those recommendations. So it's very important that if you want to have a recommendation on your profile from a previous supervisor, that you're actually connected with them. Okay, moving on down the line, we are going to talk about one of the most important areas that you can really flush out and make use of your profile in your summary. In the summary, you need to address a problem, an action, and the result you had that solved that problem, and how that problem reflects in your profile is by money saved or money earned. So when you're writing your summary, look at the space. You have 2,000 characters, and that equates to about 350 words. So when you're addressing something, you want to I was able to do all of my marketing tasks in-house, and I saved the organization well over $150,000. That's a money saved. That's a really good tool, and if you can keep sharing statistics like that, using keywords, people will find you and they'll say, oh, this person can help me. With your skills and expertise, you are allowed to have up to 50 skills or expertise. These are also a way for you to represent industry keywords in your profile. So that's a very good way to have your profile show up when a recruiter or someone is searching for a particular keyword. By having those skills and expertise listed, you are able to have additional benefit from that. And it's listed here as experience. What you can do with your experience is you can have one current job, at least one current job, and you can have at least, or you need to have at least 2 previous jobs. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yesterday we had the question, what do you do if you've been a stay-at-home mom, or what do you do if you've been at the same job for 23 years? If you've had a promotion during those 23 years, be at the same company, but have different job titles so that it shows a progression or an advancement. If you've been a stay-at-home mom, you have so many marketable skills, or stay-at-home dad, I don't want to be discriminatory here. You can have so many marketable skills that you can run a household efficiently, that you can use the term domestic engineer or And on Illinois WorkNet, we have a listing of transferable job skills. So you can take a look at that to see what you could use. You want to use this area for your description to expand on examples of how you can solve employers' problems. This way, if you didn't have enough room up in your summary and you want to put specific statistics on a particular job, you can do that in the experience. Maybe you were top salesman for 7 years in a row. Maybe you closed 95% of the transactions that you were required to close, and you were always ranked in the top 2% of customer service. Those are all numbers that will relate to money saved or money earned. The other thing that you can add into your experience is a video, a portfolio, You can post these things in a tool like Creative Portfolio, or Box.net will let you put Word documents or Excel documents. You can also include your resume in that Box.net, and then you can post them here to your profile. Okay, I want to be mindful of time, so we need to move on a little bit more as we're looking at some additional items for your education or volunteer experience and causes. A lot of times when you're unemployed, if you are volunteering at an organization, you may be keeping your current job skills up to date. So by listing your volunteer experiences or the organizations to which you belong, you may be able to bridge that unemployment gap in your LinkedIn profile. Then when you are done with that particular aspect, and maybe you're gainfully employed again, move it down into the volunteer experiences and causes or the organizations. What this also does is it helps as a conversation point with a potential employer. Maybe they're involved in Boys and Girls Clubs and they noticed on your profile that you are as well. So that will give you the opportunity to have a conversation point. In your education, you want to make sure that you're not aging yourself out. So when you, excuse me, I'm so sorry. When you are listing your educational components, you can leave out to list the education but not show that it was there. Yesterday I was working with a private client, and he is currently attending the Elgin Leadership Academy, and he put it in as a project. So there are many ways to enter the same information and have it be useful to you in your profile. The other thing that you always want to include is additional information. All of these items may become a talking point between you and a potential employer, as well as how can somebody get in touch with you. It's very important that they are able to see email contacts or phone numbers so that they can be in touch with you. Sarah asked a job, what do you do if your job does not have any money attached to it, knowledge? Everything, everywhere relates to money somehow. It is either customers made aware, it is people walking in the door. Somehow, some way, if you improve a process, that relates to money. If you have made an attempt to brand a new project, it is a way for you to still relate that to money that you save. The money that I saved for my organization, it was a governmental agency, so it was something that I just had to calculate the dollars and put it to it. Okay, so Sarah says if you don't necessarily see it or know it, you may need to talk to your accountant or the accounting department and try and calculate something. That's a little bit specific, so I want to try and save some time. Sarah, if you want to come offline with me and message back and forth with me after we connect, I will help you through that process. Okay, moving on to connections. We want to go to connections. The next question on the poll is $50 connections. The more connections you have, the broader your reach. 500 is better. If you can meet people at a networking event, if you meet people out in the community, business leaders, at workNet, at the workNet centers, wherever you are, and you have the ability to meet someone, ask them if they have a LinkedIn profile and ask them if you can connect with them. And then our next spot will be on invitations. And we'll talk about the proper way to do invitations. One of the things that is available in LinkedIn is tagging your connections. So when you click on someone, it shows you right here how you're connected with them. I've got 2,000 connections. It's difficult for me to remember everyone, how I met them or where I met them. So by including a tag, I can tag that person so that it refreshes my memory. And to do that, that would be your tag to help you remember that person. When you are inviting someone, which I'm going to do right now, I'm going to look up Paul Murray, because he told me I could. And, oh, my typing skills today are just not good. Paul Murray. What you can do is you can look by searching the magnifying glass. And what I need to do is I need to drill this down to, Paul, type in the chat pod real quick where you are. What geographic area you're in. Okay. It's coming. Downers Grove. So he's in the greater Chicago area. This helps if you know how LinkedIn is broken out, because it lets you type in. All right, so we're going to go to, I have 2,615 results, and I'm not going to be able to find Paul really fast unless I narrow this down to Chicago. That got me down to 42 results. Paul, do you see yourself? Number 2. Okay. So Paul Murray, what I would do then is I would invite him to connect. My suggestion to you is to always select the We've Done Business Together. This is why it's important for you to have multiple jobs in there. I always select my most current job unless it's definitely one of the other ones. And then I always personalize my invitation. Was nice. My keyboard is not cooperating today. Sorry about the coughing. To meet you during the workNet webinar. If I can assist you, so what you do is you tell them where and when you met them. Offer them a resource or a white paper or some sort of help, and then ask them to connect. It's that simple. People don't always get on LinkedIn every day. They may not get on it every month. They may not get on it for 15 months. I had somebody accept an invitation from 15 months ago. So when you put down where and when you met them, give them a little bit spam invitations, because of the fact that people can ignore you or report you as spam. You don't want to give them that opportunity. So when you're telling them why you want to meet them, because you have not physically met them, doing some explanation here will help you very much. So I'm going to send this invitation. In your inbox, I'm going to do this part really briefly. In your inbox, you have the ability to either, okay, computer, let's go. You have the ability to either report somebody as spam, ignore them, which puts them in your archive, or you can reply, don't accept yet. So if you aren't quite sure why that person invited you, where they are, why they need to know you, you can always send them a message with the reply, don't accept yet. Okay. Everybody that I connect with. And I accept any invitation from somebody who has personalized their invitation or else replies to me when I ask them why. I know them, to refresh my memory. So my mantra is, it's not about who you know, it's about who they know. So when you're trying to get your name out and into a new opportunity, the who you know or who you, it's not about who you know, it's about who they know. So remember always to be open-minded in your acceptance of invitations. We're going to move on to groups. You can belong to up to 50 groups. In the groups, and especially in the Illinois workNet, Virtual workNet Job Club, you can participate in discussions. You can see potential job openings. You can also find promotions that are going on. And one of the benefits you have first-degree connections, second-degree connections, who are, if I'm first-degree connection with Rick Kenzior, his connections are my second degree. And those connections have connections which are my third degree. So if I'm connected to somebody in a group and it's a third degree connection, if we're both in the same group, we can communicate for free with a basic account in LinkedIn. So when you belong to a group, you can in-mail directly to group members for free. One way that you can use this to your advantage is if you want to reach out to a particular person in a particular company and you discover that on LinkedIn they belong to an industry-related group that you want to belong to or that you belong to, go to that group, join it if you are not already a member, and then you can directly message that person or those people in that group. Participate in the group, show your level of expertise, and you may find yourself in a new job. That's the beauty of groups. Many of the groups will also list job openings that they run across, or members of the group will post them as well. Companies give you the opportunity to look at various information that comes across your screen. When you follow a company, they will post updates, and the companies that you follow, those updates show up in your company status updates. So I think I saw come across the screen that there were just 1 billion endorsements given on LinkedIn. If somebody has openings because of the fact that they may announce a promotion, who's going to fill that person that just got the promotion's position? Or maybe they're building a new building or they're opening a new branch. So that could potentially all mean new jobs. So when you follow a company, let's look for Motorola. And we're going to go to Motorola Mobility. Motorola Mobility has a page where their status updates show up. And if you notice, it's easy being green. They just got a new partnership program. Check out why Francois likes working at Motorola. This is good news because you can find out whether or not you would fit with corporate culture at a location. It's all great information because it gives you how to get in touch with the company, of people that work at Motorola. And if you hover over their name, it tells you who it is that's the direct link. This is a great way to get in touch with John Kenworthy. I call up Greg, or I send Greg a message and I say, Greg, how well do you know John Kenworthy? Could you make a recommendation to him about me? So this is all a great way to use LinkedIn for your processes. They also will use the career aspect in many cases. Larger companies are turning to LinkedIn, A, to recruit, and B, to list their jobs. It's less costly on LinkedIn to post a job opening than it is to post on Career Builder or Monster. Jobs at Motorola Mobility. California, I don't see anything in Illinois, but you can make sure that you're checking back there on a regular basis. And if you follow the company, then you are given their status updates in that company status update. What we want to do now is take a look at jobs. when you're looking for a job on LinkedIn, there's 3 functions that kind of work similarly. It is the job search function, the advanced search, and then signal. And we're going to go into advanced search and signal in just a few minutes. If you enter a keyword, and I'm going to enter manufacturing, I'm going to search for manufacturing jobs that are posted on LinkedIn. Now, I came up with 728 jobs. And how many miles I wanted to search within. Now, if I change that to 25 miles and search, my number to the right just went down to 279 jobs. What this also does is it tells me how many people are in my network. For example, at Associate Process Engineer, I have 3 people that I am first-degree connections with that I might want to find out more about this job that was posted by Michelle Rogonia. So that helps me in the process of reaching out to new people about a potential job. And then, of course, down on the side, you can drill down by who was it posted by, what company do I want to work for, are they in the greater Chicago area, and maybe I want them posted within the last week. So let's change some of these functions and see what we come up with. We're going to do the last 2 to 7 days, and I want them to be at connection because I don't have one. But if I'm looking at this, Bruce Bixler or Tracy Woods knows and is a direct connection to Angela Gannon, and so she could help me potentially into that position. Looking at the advanced search, you can use the advanced search tools to find potential jobs. If you don't go to the job bar, you can still look for marketing. Let's do marketing. Goodness, keyboard work. And we're going to go to the advanced we're going to click on advanced next to it. What that does thing with your account. And if I enter marketing, and if I enter a job title, I want to find all of the vice presidents with marketing in their job title, and I want them located in or near 62035, which is down by St. Louis, and I want to look 25 miles in that area. I search. So what I will then find is 3,183 results of people who are in marketing and how many shared connections I have. If I want to drill this down a little bit more, I can drill it down by company, or I can drill it down by second-degree connections only. So if I then will have 239 connections. By reaching out to these particular people, Moturn, you can ask Cassandra, is it okay if I mention your name in a message that I want to send to Aaron Motor? That lets you invite that person by mentioning Cassandra's name without having to get Cassandra involved in the introduction. So this is all ways that you can use the advanced search function to help you find potential jobs or potential people. What we're going to talk about right now is Signal. And under the news section is Signal. What Signal does is it gives you the latest status updates from your network on LinkedIn. And if you notice, it's 31,670. That's because I have a large network. Your number might not be quite so big, but it could be. So as I'm looking at this, maybe I want to type in a keyword, and I want to type in computers. Computers. And I want to see what's going on in the greater Chicago area. So that just took it down to computers in the Chicago area to 23,000. So I want to do information technology and services. That takes it down to just under 1,400 updates. But that's still too many for me to really read. So what I want to do is I want to take the time frame down to the last day, which gives me 113 updates. Now, as I'm looking at these, I'm looking for information to keep me up to date on my skills. One of the things that I can do with this is I can scan these 113 updates and looking endorsement, connection. Oh, here's a potential something that I might want to read, another potential something that I might want to read. Skills, do businesses really need video? That might be an article that I might want to read to keep me up to date on my skills. So this is a really good way for you to not have to go out and find all of the newest information that you need to find. And then again, you can drill it down by unclicking. You can look at the update and stay on top of the news in your industry or in your network. Okay, you can always change all of these things by your demographic selections. So Signal gives you the latest status updates from the people in your network on a specified search. You can change the number of results based upon the demographic selections that you make. So, did everybody answer the question on how many connections that you have? If you haven't, let's do that. And then we're going to take that poll question away. And the next poll question is, do you participate in groups, especially the Illinois Virtual Job Club Network? That is something that you need to look at, is participating in groups. And uh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. How often do you post a status update? That is one of the things that we want to know because of the fact of marketing yourself on LinkedIn. The more frequently that you post, the more often people will see your name, and the more often you could potentially be recommended out to a potential employer. All right. Has everybody entered their LinkedIn profile into the chat pod? Please do that. And if you have your LinkedIn profile, please enter it in so that we can all connect with each other. Here about LinkedIn aspects, about your photo, about how you can make it complete, about inviting connections, about participating in groups, and then last but not least, our Illinois Virtual Job Club. If you want to print the presentation, because this was live, this handout, the LinkedIn slide share handout in the second pod, I'll move it here a little bit so that you can see it. That is just a handout with references to today's presentation so that it will give you the information that you need to maybe go back and look at pictures. This has been recorded, so it will be up on Illinois WorkNet so that you can take a look at it again. And again, I apologize for the coughing. I swallowed wrong. You can take a look at all of these resources in the web links so that you can find more information later. And I would like to do an announcement for our next webinar, which is happening on March 19th and 21st. It is about resumes. There'll be a conversation between these experts, and hopefully it will give you some information to help you update your current resume and to enhance the one that you actually have, or help you build one in case you need one built. So I'd like to thank Natasha and Chelsea very much for helping me man the chat pods. And I appreciate everybody's attention on today's webinar. We will leave the chat pod open for a little while so that you can copy down some of the LinkedIn profile links that were added in there. Please invite everybody to connect with you, and please, please, please make sure that you personalize your invitations. I hope everybody has a great day, and stay safe in the weather if you have it, and make it a great one. Thanks for joining us.